So now, Teacher Cirillo will explain the guess and check. So guess and check is a problem-solving strategy that students can use to solve mathematical problem by guessing the answer and then checking that the guess fits the conditions of the problem.
So, punta tayo sa solving a problem by guess and check. 4-step technique sa guess and check. 1. Identify what is the question. 2. Plan what strategy will I use to solve the problem. And 3. Solve, carry out your plan. And last, verify, does my answer make sense? So sa solving a problem by guess and check, malalaman natin kung paano mag-solve ng word problem. And hindi dito basta-basta pwedeng manghula or what. So paano nga ba ito gawin? So first example, during a recent summer, the ratio of pig to horse was 7:3. If there were 210 horse, what is the number of pig? So, we have option here na isa dito ang tama sa problem na isa-solve natin. So, dito may advantage na agad tayo sa pagpili ng tamang sagot. Kasi sabi dito, ang alam natin, 7:3 ang ratio, mas madami ang pig kesa sa horse o mas doble pa. So, kailangan natin doblehin yung 3 para lang mas mapantayan yung dami ng pig sa horse. So, dito, sa problem natin, ang alam natin is madami yung horse, which is 210. So, tingin tayo sa option. So, sa option, malalaman natin dito na may dalawa ng kagad na hindi kasali o maling sagot. Dahil mas mababa sila sa 210 na given natin. So dito, alam na natin yung dalawang mali. So syempre, isa lang yung dapat na tamang natabang sagot. Sabi nga natin kanina, mas higit pa sa doble yung dami ng pig. So 210 times 2 equals 420. So, yung letter B, eliminated na siya kasi mababa siya dun sa naging sagot natin. Kasi dinoble natin eh. So, dito, alam na natin yung sagot. Kahit hindi natin i-verify, just trust the correct answer. Mas madali natin makukuha. So, the answer is letter C, 490. Kahit wag na natin i-verify, trust the correct answer and mas madali talaga natin makukuha. But, pwede naman gumamit ng algebra para malaman yung mismong proseso na tumama yung sagot. So, pero dito sa ginawa natin, alam na natin yung sagot bukod sa pag-eliminate ng mga answers. So, next. Sabi nga natin nung una, what strategy will I use to solve the problem? Number 2 sa plan yan. So, sa example number 2 natin, gagamit tayo ng consecutive, sum, and addends. So, ano nga ba ang meaning ng tatlong to? So, sa consecutive, more numbers which follow each other in order without gaps from smallest to largest. Example, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, sa sum, results of adding 2 or more numbers. And for addends, the number that will add together to get a sum. So, example number 2, which 4 consecutive addends will give you a sum of 50. So, ang hihingi dito ay 4 consecutive at kung paano natin makukuha yung sum of 50. So, dito gagamit tayo ng table ng addends and sum. So, ang hinihingi dito is 4 consecutive. So, dito, 10, 11, 12, 13, add lang yan add. 10, 11, 12, 13 equals 46. Mababa dun sa hinihingi na given natin. So, next, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals 30. Mababa, mas lalong bumaba dun sa hinihingi. So, gawa tayo ulit. 11, 12, 13, 14 equals 50. So, ito yung sagot. So, ang magiging answer natin is the 4 consecutive numbers will be 10, 12, 13, 14. Ganito lang kadali yung another example natin na paggamit ng guess and check. So, another example. Example number 3. Which 5 consecutive addends will give you a sum of 75? So, dito naman, ang pagkakaiba lang nung example 2 sa example 3, dito 5 consecutive yung hinihingi para lang mabigay yung sum of 75. So, gawa ulit tayo ng table. And 5 consecutive yung gagawin natin. So, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 will be 80. Mataas siya sa hinihingi. So, gawa ulit tayo ng panibago. So, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 will be 55. Bumaba. Bumaba tuloy. Hindi siya angkop dun sa hinihinging given. So, next, gawa ulit. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 equals or will be 75. So, ito yung consecutive number natin. So, the answer is the 4 consecutive numbers will be 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And that's it. Ganun lang kadali yung guess and checking natin.
Good day, class. I am teacher Michelle Valdesco. I am the one who will discuss what is indirect reasoning and how do we use indirect reasoning. First, we need to know what is indirect reasoning. Indirect reasoning is better known when used in proof by contradiction. Here we note that something must be either true or false. We then assume the opposite of what we suspect to be the case. We then shows that our assumption was not failed. So here we need to make sure that our assumption was not failed, and we were going to make a contradiction in the statement. So here I'm going to give an steps on how we use indirect reasoning. The first step is assume that the statement you are trying to prove is false. Second step is shows that this assumption leads to a contradiction of something you know is true. Third step is conclude that your assumption was incorrect, so the statement you originally wanted to prove must be true. So in step 3, you need to conclude that your assumption was incorrect para ang statement na originally or yung original statement ay mapatunayan mong totoo. So, I'm going to give you an example on how to use indirect reasoning. Example number 1. If Princess spends more than $50 to buy 2 items at a dress shop, then at least one item costs more than $25. So, the next step na kailangan mong gawin is you need to assume the opposite of that statement. So, the opposite of that statement is assume that neither items cost more than $25. And then, the next step, you need to make a contradiction of this. This contradicts the given information that the amount spent is more than $50, so the assumption that neither items cost more than $25 must be incorrect. Therefore, at least one of the items cost more than $25. So the contradiction of this is incorrect because at least one item can be cost more than $25. So the next step, you need to make an conclusion. So the original statement, if Princess spends more than $50 to buy two items at a dress shop, then at least one item costs more than $25 must be true. It is true because at least one item will cost more than $25, not the two items. So, for you to understand more, I am going to give another one example. So, here's the example number 2. If Lauren is shorter than Michelle, then Michelle is not shorter than Lauren. You need again to assume the opposite of that statement. Assume Lauren is shorter than Michelle and Michelle is shorter than Lauren. So you need to make a contradiction of this. The contradiction of this is, it is impossible for two persons to be simultaneously shorter than each other. Height is a linear measurement. One person can be shorter, taller, or the same height to others. So, the contradiction of this is, it is impossible that the two person or yung dalawang tao ay mayroong same height. So, the height must be linear, have a linear measurements. Pwedeng magkaroon ng isang tao pwedeng ang isang tao ay maging matangkad sa isa or pwede ring mas shorter o mas mababa. The conclusion of this is, since the assumptions lead to a contradiction, the original statement, if Lauren is shorter than Michelle, then Michelle is not shorter than Lauren, must be true. Because, like what I said before, like what I said here, one person can be shorter or taller. There's no person has the same height to each other. So, yeah. I hope you understand about on how to use indirect reasoning and what is indirect reasoning.
So thank you for listening and staying with us until the end. So I hope you learned something from us. This is our Mathematics in the Modern World project. And I hope this video will give you a lot of ideas, and I hope you will use this in the future. So again, I am Teacher Lady May with Teacher Princess Nunez, Teacher Lauren Fuentes, Teacher Angela de Borja, Teacher Jenny Vivas, Teacher Jobel Cirillo, and Teacher Michelle Baldesco.